Welcome to the Heaven Hill Distillery's Bourbon Heritage Center, the latest addition to Kentucky's famous Bourbon Trail. Heaven Hill is America's largest family-owned independent distillery and home to the world's second-largest stock of aging bourbon, much of it stored in our open rickhouses just across from the Bourbon Heritage Center. The Bourbon Heritage Center features a personal tour and tasting, state-of-the-art interactive exhibits, and an award-winning movie. Our world-class Distillery Visitor Center is only one of many things you can do when you visit Bardstown, Kentucky, the official bourbon capital of the world. Bardstown is the second oldest city in Kentucky, and this historic town has lots to do and see. We're easily accessible from all the major metro areas throughout the Midwest and close to major highways. We suggest you start with a ride on the Heaven Hill Distillery's trolley for an overview of Bardstown's attractions. You'll see My Old Kentucky Home, the inspiration for the famous Stephen Foster song. You'll ride past the oldest Roman Catholic cathedral west of the Alleghenies. And you'll go through the historic district past the main shopping area, complete with its interesting boutiques and antique stores. And of course, you'll go to the Bourbon Heritage Center, one of Kentucky's premier attractions. And when you do, you'll find that everything about the Bourbon Heritage Center says bourbon, like the unique architecture of our building, constructed from 3 of the essential elements necessary to the making of bourbon: limestone, copper, and oak. Our friendly, personable bourbon hosts embody the family tradition of Heaven Hill. And when you take your tour, you will go on an amazing journey through history, describing the men who first settled Kentucky. The men who created bourbon, America's only native spirit, men like Elijah Craig and Evan Williams. You'll learn about the other famous bourbon makers, namesakes for our extra-aged, single-barrel, and small-batch bourbons. And you'll see how our master distillers, Parker and Craig Beam, make bourbon according to a 7-generation-old family recipe. Whether you're bringing a large group or traveling on your own, you don't want to miss the Heaven Hill Bourbon Heritage Center. It's about bourbon, it's about history, it's about how bourbon helped shape and settle the Kentucky frontier. You'll visit one of our working rickhouses and discover the secrets and magic of how bourbon ages. You'll stroll through displays of fun-filled yarns and fascinating information. Our interactive distillery details every step of the bourbon-making process, and our nosing station demonstrates how bourbon's aroma changes with age. You'll not only learn how bourbon is made, but here in our barrel-shaped tasting room, you'll learn to use all your senses to evaluate bourbon and discover how and why each bourbon acquires its own distinctive flavor. Just outside the tasting barrel is our gift shop filled with unique gifts and bourbon-branded souvenirs for you, your family, and your friends. From barware to bourbon wearables, you can buy it in the Bourbon Heritage Center gift shop. You can even create your own limited edition jug of Evan Williams bourbon, signed by our master distiller and personalized with a label composed by you. The Bourbon Heritage Center is a must-see destination for every visitor and tour group coming to Kentucky. We can accommodate any size group, large or small, and by prior arrangement, special events. This is one stop you're not going to want to miss, because if you haven't seen Heaven Hill's Bourbon Heritage Center, you haven't seen Kentucky.
Come see us. We're waiting to welcome you.